Hey there, Planet Coaster fans and theme park enthusiasts in general, or just fellow gamers. My name is Shadow Phoenix. Welcome to another episode of Vista View Park, where you are watching me build a little something here that was in Vista View 1 in some degree, but it didn't get enough attention that it actually absolutely deserved. So in Vista View 1, I had a hyperspin that was using this Midway Pavilion, is what it was called, and it was done by CTR Sin, aka Ryan, and he had made this absolutely stunningly beautiful pavilion, and I really wanted to use it, so I found a ride that I could actually fit into it, and with a little bit of finagling, I was able to fit that in there, and that's how we did it in that one. So I used his pavilion, and I used the hyperspin on that. For this one though, for Vista View 2.0, I wanted to kind of do something a little different. I wanted to do the teacups under here, but Ryan's was just, it didn't fit, and I would have to just completely redo just about everything on it anyway. So I decided, you know what, let's take his apart, learn how he did it, and kind of do our own version of this and try to make it different in its own way. And that's what we're going to do. Now, I will say that, yes, in a way, I kind of copied his work, but in another way, I also did my own creation as well. Like I said, I tried to keep it different. It's bigger. It goes along with the teacups, so you can use the teacups and stuff in it. In fact, if you download it from the Steam Workshop, it actually comes with the teacups. Plus, now that we can actually, add rides along with the scenery, we can also do, like 4,000 piece things. There's no scenery collision and stuff. It makes it a whole lot easier to actually make these and things now. There's a ton of ride skins on the workshop. I don't even think Ryan's Midway Pavilion is even on the workshop anymore. I did look for it, couldn't find it, so I think it's been taken off. Or it may have been something from like Alpha, but not the new release, and that's why it's not on there anymore. I've noticed a lot of things are actually missing now from the workshop, and I think a lot of them were from like Planet Coaster Alpha or Beta, whichever one had I think it was Beta had the Steam. But anyway, I digress. So this is something I would actually recommend doing. If you want to get better at the game, then look at what other people have created that you like, and take their things apart piece by piece. Learn how they did it. It's really a good way to learn to be better at the game. That and just experimentation. Those two things. One thing I get asked a lot is, how can I get better? Do you have any tips on playing this game? Things like that. In my Twitch stream, I do get asked this from time to time. My pretty much number one answer to this, and it's usually the answer I give, is you're going to get out of this game exactly what you put into it. If you don't want to put the time and effort and patience into it, then you're not going to come out with, awesome, detailed, things. You're going to have boxy buildings, you're going to have, very simplistic things, your coasters aren't going to be very good. There's just, it's just not going to be, master quality stuff. You're not going to be like Silverette by just spinning, oh, I'm going to just place this here. You're, like I said, you're going to get out of the game what you put into it. If you are willing to put the effort, if you're willing to put the time into it, if you're willing to be patient and just work on an item or work on a building or something like that for a long time, then you're going to get some very, very detailed results. And usually, the more you fool with it, the more that your vision that you have in your head is going to come to light. Now, also something else I will say is practice comes from this too. Your first building that you create in a game may not be a masterpiece, but keep working at it. When I first started playing this game, I bought the Alpha, and I didn't really get into the Alpha. I think I built a couple of coasters and everything, and that was it. Because, I would see what Silverette was creating, I would see what, some other people were creating. I can't think of their names, but there were so many great creators at the time that when there was an Alpha that were creating all these just amazing things. And I saw these and I was like, wow, this is, I can't figure out how they're doing it. Had I actually sat down and fooled with the game a lot longer, I probably would have done a whole lot better and probably would have played it more in alpha. In short, I paid $75 for nothing because I never even played the game during alpha. I mean, you know, now that I've actually learned the game, I'm not going to say I'm great, but I'm decent at the game. I've learned how to do a lot of stuff, and all it took was just basically sitting down, playing with stuff, experimenting with things, and learning how they actually will, you know, things go together and how the game works. Because I was just so intimidated originally. And that's another tip I have for new players. Don't be intimidated. Don't go and watch Silverette's video and then think like, oh my god, I'll never be this good. You know, you may not. You may. You don't know until you try. But this all comes in trying and experimenting and learning the game. So yeah, take your time. Be patient. Put the time in. If you want to be good at this game, you can be good at this game. You just have to put forth the effort. That's all I have to say about that. Now what I'm doing here is I'm actually trying to create this roof here, which for some reason gave me a ton of problems trying to create this. For some odd reason, I just could not get it to circle right. Speaking of Silverette again, he made this awesome video on how to make like these roofs and like custom roofs and I don't know what they're called, but like domes, things like that. And you put these pieces together, you duplicate it to the other side, and then you have a piece in the middle and you just rotate it, and rotating it around will fix the roof. For some reason though, this one just wasn't working for me. I kept trying to make this like centered, and I don't know what the problem was, and it took me forever before I finally got it. I don't even know what it was. I eventually just deselected everything, took everything apart, rebuilt it, and then tried again, and finally was able to get it to circle, you know, perfectly. There we go, just like that. So once I had it, we put it on top of there, and boom, now we have the top for a pavilion. And all it took was just a little bit of my favorite word, finagling, to get it just adjusted just right onto it and centered and everything, and boom, now we have the top of our pavilion. So yeah, and like I said, you know, one of the things that I wanted to do with Vista View 2.0 was I didn't want to use a lot of created stuff off the workshop. One side of my main street in Vista View 1.0 was completely done by other people. I didn't do any of the shops. I found a bunch of Alpine things and I put them together in my own way and, you know, littered one side of the street with it. And I mean, it looked great. Yeah, it was awesome looking. But you know, now that I feel like I'm better at the game and I got more time and stuff to work with these things, I wanted to do something myself. In the next few episodes, we're going to get into Main Street and you know, kind of get down there and work on that. But I wanted to make a lot of the stuff in this park myself instead of using things from other people. This is another good reason why I decided to make my own Midway Pavilion here for our teacups ride, is because I wanted to do it myself. You know, I saw the teacups and I thought, you know what, this would just be so good if Ryan's pavilion would fit on top of this, but it's so big. And that's what she said. I'm going to have to, you know, do this myself. So that's what I did. And I'm really glad that I did actually take the time to do this. I really feel like working on this made me a better player of this game in general. Learning how he did his and everything, you know, I feel like I'm a better player after doing this. I learned a lot of things from making this one little simple pavilion. Things that I, you know, had never really messed around with, using pieces I'd never used before, combining pieces, lighting, and so many things I learned from just making this. And hopefully you guys can learn from it too. So I'm going to take off. I guess I have one more thing I can talk about before I leave. I do apologize about the quality of this video. For some odd reason, half the time when I record anymore, ever since I got my GTX 1070, every time I record, not every time, half the time I record, my videos are coming out in these weird resolutions. So my main screen is 1920 by 1080, and that's the screen that I play the game on. All my older videos were 1920 by 1080. Now these videos are coming out in like 1920 by 810 or like 2560 by 1080, and you know, I'm like, wait, what in the world is going on here? Why is my video coming out in this weird way? And I still haven't figured out the exact key to it yet. I thought I did, but you know, I was thinking, okay, well, maybe if I'm hitting the shadow play key to start recording and I'm not got the game selected on this screen, maybe it's taken the resolution from one of my other screens, because I do have two ultra wides on each side of my main monitor. So maybe it was doing that, but no, it still does it. I mean, I can have the game selected, be in the game. I'll hit my hotkey for recording, and it will record in some weird thing. Luckily, I can take that and kind of maneuver it around in Vegas to try to make a 1920 by 1080 video. The quality suffers a bit, so you know, it's definitely not a HD type of quality, but a lot of my videos are kind of coming out this way, and I really want to fix it. I don't know how. So if anybody has any thoughts out there on why that is, why it's giving me different resolutions, then I would love to hear that. 1920 by 1080 is what's selected in my settings in shadow play, so it's not that. It's all set to custom. It's just something weird is going on, and it all happened after I got this new video card. So yeah, if you guys know any tips or any ideas on why it's doing this, I would love to hear it. I would love to try to get this fixed so that all my videos are in much better quality from now on. So some of these are going to be, some of them are not. I ended up losing some footage because I accidentally, well, I didn't accidentally, I deleted it because I was like, this is completely unusable. What is with this resolution? And then it wasn't until after I deleted it that I realized, oh wait, I could probably finagle this in Vegas and probably get this to work. Yeah, so, but it was already too late. I'd already deleted a couple of videos that I'd made, and unfortunately I'll never get that footage back, but we'll move on. No use crying over spilt milk. Just like, you know, Vista View, you know, it's gone. We'll move on. We'll do better. So yeah, so I apologize about the quality, and if you can help figure out what's going on with the video, that would be awesome. And now that we're on the lighting, actually we're at the end of the video now, so I very much appreciate all my fans out there who are continuing to watch these videos. I am hoping I am getting better. I'm hoping my videos are getting better and my voiceovers are getting better. And I would love to hear from you. I'm not getting a whole lot of comments. I'm getting a ton of views, but not a whole lot of comments. So I would love to hear from you guys on what you think. Also, I play a lot of Planet Coaster. If there are other games that you would like to see me play, if you're other games that you know, you're interested in, then definitely let me know, because I would be very happy to try to play those, you know, if the fan base is there. So I'm going to take off, and I'm glad you guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'm glad you guys are sticking around with me, and my subscriber base is increasing constantly. So let's get to 500, guys. We're not too far away. We're at, last I checked, 367, so let's keep on moving forward. I am out of here, so see you guys later in the next episode, which hopefully won't be too long. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support me and my channel, I have a Patreon page where you can do just that. You can pledge anything from $1 or more. Anyone who pledges $15 or more gets a unique, specially designed roller coaster from Planet Coaster made just for them. My little way of saying thanks. You can also just send donations as well if you don't want to join Patreon. And you can find those links in the video description below. Every tiny red cent I make from these means the world to me and is extremely helpful. If you're interested in my PC setup that I work with and play on that you see here, every piece of the system is described below with links to Amazon if you want to purchase them or anything else. Thanks for tuning in to my videos and my channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, click that on the screen below. And you can also check out a few of my other videos on the screen here as well. You can keep up to date on what's going on in my own little world via Twitter or watch me stream live on Twitch as well. Links are in the video description below. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.